6 o'clock. We've asked Brother Wayne Key from the Solid Rock Church, to open us in prayer tonight. So, Brother Wayne, the floor is yours, and then after that we'll remain standing for the pledge of allegiance, which Brother Ryan will lead us in.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening. We thank you for your mercy and your goodness. We ask you to bless this council meeting this evening, Lord, the councilman, the mayor, God, and each one that's here. We thank you for your goodness today. Thank you for our town. Thank you for our leaders today. We give you honor, we give you worship and praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brother Wayne. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank y'all.
Call the Russell Springs regular call meeting February 13th to order. Chris, we got it.
Mr. Hudson. Here. Mr. Huckabee.
Here.
Ms. Daniel.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Mr. Barnes.
Here.
And Mr. Frost.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
All right, the first thing on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes. Chris has sent them out to you. You should have them in your packet.
Make the motion to accept the minutes.
Got a motion. Cody need a second.
Second.
Second by Sherry. Chris?
Mr. Barnes.
Yes.
Ms. Daniel.
Yes.
Mr. Frost.
Yes.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
And Mr. Huckabee.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Likewise, the same thing with the acceptance of the cash disbursements and financial statements. He sent them out to y'all, and you've had them in the packet. I hope you've had a chance to look over them. Are there any questions on any of them? If not, I'd like a motion to pay the bills.
Make motion to pay the bill.
Motion to pay the bill by Rick, you need a second.
I'll make the second.
Need a second by Gary. Chris, roll call.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Mrs. Daniel.
Yes.
Mr. Barnes.
Yes.
Mr. Frost.
Yes.
And Mr. Huckabee.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next thing's old business, unless the council has something on old business. We have nothing on old business. Anybody got anything on old business? We'll jump right into the new business, and the first thing on the agenda is the 2025-2026 interlocking homeless prevention support agreement with the county. That is something we've done in the past, and they passed it Monday morning at the county. So it's Russell Springs, Jamestown, and Russell County putting $1,500 a piece in for, which will be the end now instead of the Springs that Randy has got one room up there and he's trying to get another one now. So it's just going to benefit us again. Chris, you want to read that?
Actually, it's the same contract we've had since 2020. The amounts are the same. All the language is the same from the last 5 times. So that program's been working really good. There's been no hiccups. And I put those in your packet as well. The link, the full contract.
Does anybody got any questions on that? Not, I need a motion.
I make the motion that we enter into the interlocal agreement
Got a
with the
motion,
county
Sherry.
and city, other city.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Second for 10, Bob. Okay, Chris?
Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Ms. Daniel. And Mr. Frost.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next thing on the agenda is Resolution 2025-02. It's a opposition to the HB 253. Chris, you want to read that?
This was a resolution sent down by the Kentucky League of Cities. City of Russell Springs, Kentucky, resolutions number 2025-02. A resolution of the City of Russell Springs opposing any bills brought forth during the 2025 General Assembly session by any member of the Kentucky Legislature in the full or in part that provides for the mandated centralized collection of local occupational fees, taxes by the Commonwealth of Kentucky and or other third parties. Whereas under Section 181 of the Kentucky Constitution, the Commonwealth of Kentucky cannot impose or require a statewide occupational license fee tax for local purposes. And whereas many cities and counties across the Commonwealth of Kentucky have enacted and imposed local occupational license requirements, and whereas the recipients affiliated with those funds are recorded in the general fund of the local government and allocated towards providing critical services, including police, fire and emergency management services, public infrastructure improvements, and other critical programs and services to the citizens. And whereas the City of Russell Springs provides clear, transparent, and efficient payment and reporting services to those impacted by occupational license fees and taxes, which is best accomplished at the local level by professionals who have local experience and knowledge of our community. And whereas the City of Russell Springs strongly believes that mandated state or third-party collection of local occupational license tax and fees would be ineffective and have a severely adverse effect on the financial condition and economic development of Russell Springs and all local government entities if mandated by the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now therefore be resolved by the City of Russell Springs strongly opposes the adoptions of any bills and laws in whole or in part by the Kentucky General Assembly that provide the mandated centralized collection of local occupational license fees or taxes, and urges all members of the General Assembly to vote against a proposal of this nature. This resolution shall have the full effect and force of law upon passage according to the laws and ordinances of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and under my signature this 13th day of February 2025, placed for the signature of Mayor Eddie Thomas. And it says this resolution passed by a vote of blank in favor and against, and a signature line for a test, Christopher Ramsey, City Clerk.
Pretty much we'd just be opposing the state government from taking our money and then giving it back to us how they see fit.
What they did is they filed House Bill 253, which now will take all of the occupational tax to Frankfurt. Then Frankfurt will then collect it, send it back to us, and take a
Collection
fee, handling fee, as you call it, to send it to us.
Yeah, I'm against that.
Do you think it'll do any good, the resolution?
Enough of us stick together, it will.
This has been opposed by KLC and by KCO.
We don't have to vote on it, do we? I mean, we do.
The
Then I move
opposition.
that whatever the resolution, whatever we need to forward it or whatever we need to do, make that motion.
You're in a second.
I'll second it.
Yes, Cody. Roll call.
Mr. Barnes.
Yes.
Ms. Daniel.
Yes.
Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Mr. Huckabee.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
And Mr. Frost.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Next thing on the agenda is the first reading of ordinance 2025-01. It's an ordinance to adopt in Deerview Lane into the city street system, and that was sponsored by Ricky Barnes. There will not be a vote on it tonight, but Chris, do you want to read it?
Yes, legal summary of ordinance number 2025-01, City Council meeting Thursday, February 13th, 2025, first reading. Tonight we're holding the first reading on the ordinance to formally adopt Deerview Lane into the city of Russell Springs city street system. By passing this ordinance, the city will assume full responsibility for the maintenance, repair, and regulation of Deerview Lane as a public street. This ordinance confirms that Deerview Lane has been is ready to be adopted as city street service in the public interest. Furthermore, the ordinance includes standard provision for repealing conflicting ordinances, ensuring severability in case of any portion is found invalid, and setting an effective date upon passage of publication. Upon adoption, Deerview Lane will be recognized as an official city street, ensuring its proper upkeep and allowing the city to include it in the future infrastructure and maintenance planning. This is the first reading of the ordinance. No vote will be taken. The second reading will be at the next meeting. And that's your first reading of ordinance 2025-01.
Okay, the next thing is, first reading of ordinance 2025-02. It's an ordinance to adopt Green Ridge Drive in the city street system, and that's sponsored by Councilwoman Daniels. And there will not be a vote on it tonight. Chris, you want to do the?
Yes,
summary?
legal summary of ordinance number 2025-02, City Council meeting Thursday, February 13th, 2025, first reading. Tonight, we're holding the first reading of the ordinance to formally adopt Green Ridge Drive into the city of Russell Springs City Street System. By passing this ordinance, city will assume the full responsibility for the maintenance, repair, and regulation of the Green Ridge Drive as a public street. This ordinance confirms that Green Ridge Drive has been ready to be adopted in the city street system and is in best in the public interest. Furthermore, the ordinance includes standard provision for repealing conflicting ordinances, ensuring severability in case any portion is found invalid, and setting an effective date upon passage and publication. Upon adoption, Green Ridge Drive will be recognized as an official city street, ensuring its proper upkeep and allowing the city to include it in future infrastructure and maintenance planning. This is the first reading of the ordinance, so no vote will be taken tonight, and the vote will be at the next meeting. And that's your first reading of ordinance number 2025-02.
So that's your summaries, and next meeting.
Where is Green Ridge Drive?
That's over where your mom lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, she don't
No,
live
she
there.
was on Foley Drive.
yeah.
She lives
Yeah,
on
that's
Foley.
right.
It's over there, those apartments by Little Caesars.
Yeah,
This
it's,
is a promise that was made
Okay, I
how
couldn't
long
think where
ago?
that's at. I heard of it.
it's been blacktop, street
Uh-huh.
lights on it, for over 2 years.
I knew it'd been a while.
We're gonna get her done. So the next thing is first reading of ordinance 2025-03, an ordinance regulation uniform municipal code for the manufacturing, transportation, storage, and use of explosives. That's sponsored by Councilman Timmy Hudson. Chris, same thing, we'll read it, there'll be no vote on it tonight.
Legal summary of blasting ordinance 2025-03. Purpose of the ordinance regulates the manufacture, sale, storage, transportation, and use of explosives with the municipality to ensure public safety and compliance with the state and federal laws. Key provisions, scope, and exemptions applies to most explosive-related activities except for federal and state operations, small arms, ammunition, and explosives in transit under regulatory oversight. Storage and transportation must follow Kentucky Department of Mines and Minerals Regulation 805 KRA 410-4165. Blasting permits required for all blasting operations. Public property blasting and private blast over 5 pounds require a valid Kentucky blaster's license. Permits must be renewed annually if the project is incomplete. Emergency permits may be expedited. Manufacturing, sale, business dealing in explosives must obtain a permit. And then it says penalties, violations result in fines and or imprisonment. This is the first reading of this ordinance. There will be no vote taken tonight, and then next second reading will be at the next meeting. And that's your first reading of blasting ordinance 2025-03.
So,
I don't understand why we need it.
the next thing on the agenda is police department update. Chief Shepherd.
For the month of January, we had 5 total DUI arrests, 105 traffic stops, 23 warrants served, 53 traffic charges cited, 18 accidents investigated, 37 total arrests, and 425 calls for service.
Anybody got any questions for Chief Shepherd?
Sounds like you're earning your keep to me.
Busy.
Pretty busy.
The next thing on the agenda is the RCIDA appointment, and I'd like to nominate Jerry to serve another term on it. And because we've, got him on there and we've got some things in motion, and, I just feel like that he's the best one for us. Anybody got any questions on it? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to nominate.
Need a second?
I'll see.
Timmy? Roll call, Rick.
Mr. Wilson,
Yeah.
Mr. Frost,
Yes.
Mr. Hudson,
Yes.
Mr. Barnes, Ms. Daniel,
Yes.
and Mr. Huckman.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mayor.
Thanks, Kim. So the next thing is the economic development update, Jeremy.
Thank you, Mayor. On the economic side, Mayor and I had a meeting, a couple weeks ago with a possible hotel investor, and we're going through the due diligence of getting stuff from them and trying to figure out their credentials. We also went in Paris, we went to Paris the other day, talked to some people about a restaurant, so there's a lot of stuff seems to be happening. And of course, we're still working with the medical cannabis dispensary people. There's been a little hiccup in that. It's sort of slowed down because the state had a requirement on the dispensary side that they could not bring in cannabis from outside the state for sale. So, but they didn't give the grow license till October. So the material hadn't grown enough to, but anyway, that's sort of been the slowdown on it, but it seems to be starting to pick up a little bit now.
Anybody got any questions for Jeremy?
I do. I saw it on Facebook, that we wasn't getting Shogun. If it's on Facebook, it's true.
The Shogun, like we said, that is contractual. I think the council knows that that is contractual, so if that doesn't happen, things that would happen to them. Shogun's is still moving forward. Their tenant has actually, or their possible tenant, has their plans drawn up, the kitchen equipment, so that we had to get the kitchen equipment just like they was gonna build for this tenant, to know how much gas, electric, all that good stuff they had to build in for. So all this has been sent to the architects and running numbers now. But it is still moving forward.
And I didn't ask that to put you on the spot, but I thought if you put it out there openly that we are moving forward, it might stop some of
It
the
is moving forward.
foolishness.
It's a process. I mean, it's a process.
Well, what happened is in this situation, they wanted to get another tenant in before they started pouring the plumbing and concrete in the ground and everything. They only want to build it once, they don't want to build it twice. So if it took an extra month or two for them to get them attended, it's been worth it because,
So they got another,
in the long run, they can do both of them at the same time.
so they got a potential restaurant, basically get one restaurant, buy one, get one free deal on the restaurant.
On this one, yes, could be. It's not contractual until the numbers come back. I mean,
He gets
we'll
the
know
pay.
more in the next little bit. It looks good though.
I can tell you this much, we sure eat a lot of good food making with them, ain't we?
We have, yes, we have. Been a lot of meetings.
The next thing is, has the council got anything before we get to the mayor's report? If not, I'll move into the mayor's report. The first thing is, me and Jeremy met with, the car club this week at the, and they're wanting to move the car show back to Main Street and have it, one Saturday a month, start Memorial Day weekend, run into Labor Day weekend. And they're only gonna have like, two, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeremy, two big nice car shows. They're gonna have what they call a cruise-in, Timmy. You probably know more about that than I do.
No, I don't keep up with it like I
He
used
said
to.
they come in, what they do, they come in and they set up, and then they don't buy trophies for every car and everything. Each one of you, there's so many months there, each one of y'all would come up here and pick you a car out. And it would be the council's car that month.
Mhm.
The one
We
that
get
you
to
pick.
drive it and everything?
No, you gotta pick it out. But now this entitles, this entitles a lot of work from us, because if we do it, we gotta be here, we gotta help them, and we've gotta, they're wanting to have at least 2 to 3 food trucks a month
We need that too.
on Main Street. It'll be from 1 to 5. Third Saturday,
Yes, sir.
the third Saturday of every month.
How many months will they be of it?
From May to
Through-
Labor Day.
Okay.
Late
October, maybe.
Yes.
Somerset Cruise is the fourth
Yeah.
Saturday, isn't it?
And Columbia's the second. These people, they've scheduled around it to where, they've got a pretty good plan, and with the
Who does
new,
this, Eddie? Who's in charge of it? Who's in charge of this?
well, it was Billy,
Andrews.
Billy Andrew, Billy Lawson, and Wayne,
Curry?
Lynch is who
Wayne
we
Lynch,
met
yeah.
with, yeah. Well, we met the whole car club, but that was most of them. And with the new, museum coming across the road, they just feel like it would be a benefit to everybody, and, you know, I don't disagree with them, and we got our new music on Main Street now, so new speakers and everything, so,
Terry opened that up when they have that.
yeah, he had opened it up, yeah. And so I think it's a win-win for us.
Do they usually have this at the fairgrounds now?
No, they have it on City Park.
Okay.
A few years back, they used to have it down
Yeah.
Well,
Main
they do,
Street.
they do have one over there now, it's another.
Yeah,
club.
that's a Jeep club,
Yeah,
right, or
they just
something?
have one, don't they, a year? one
Yeah,
or
I
two.
think they may be having, it's one or two they have, I don't know, they had a big one over there, this last one.
This club here has been having them over
Yeah.
over at the park all summer,
Yeah.
every summer, yeah,
So we'd shut down Main Street the third Saturday.
Just from Maple Street down to,
Jamestown.
yeah, down to Jamestown, yeah. We wouldn't shut Maple Street off.
Right.
Shut. So, that's, and it's a commitment from us, and now we're on the air, and I've got the press here, so I mean, if we commit to do it, you know, you're committing to come and do it and do some stuff. I mean, it ain't like, and sure, you've been wanting food trucks for a long time, and,
I think it would help bring people to Main Street.
well, I'm gonna talk to the restaurant, not the restaurants, the, stores and the coffee shops and stuff. And
Well, that was my
down
concern.
to
Would that affect them anyway if we
No,
close
not-
Main Street?
Not the coffee shop, these food trucks, you know, they'd probably bring in, well, you had a couple pretty good ones the
Well,
year that
we had, Gold Star Chili was gonna come.
and that macaroni and,
Uh-huh.
One you
And
got.
Taylor over here
Yeah.
got that
I
one.
mean, it's,
If nothing else, it might bring business to them.
yeah,
You get
Yeah,
the car
yeah.
trade.
Time frame's 1 to 5,
Oh, okay.
so banks would be closed and I mean.
everything be closed on
And a
Main.
lot of stores close at noon or
Yeah.
1 on Saturdays anyway.
Yeah.
In the Springs, what time does it close? At
1:30.
1:30, okay.
So, it would help. I think it's something that we need to look into, because I feel like, I said, you know, this year, that's what we need to concentrate on, is Main Street. 127's gonna grow. It's growing leaps and bounds. So, we need to probably concentrate as much as we can on Main Street to try to bring stuff back downtown. That's just my opinion, but it's whatever y'all think. That's why I brought it up to y'all. They told me
I
to
think
bring
it's
it
a
up to
great
you and
idea.
see what y'all
I'm in
think.
favor of it.
Me
Yeah, but
too.
everybody else,
I'll come
Yeah, I
help
think
you.
so.
okay?
Volunteer.
Everybody else in favor, okay? You got things, or,
Sounds good.
okay? The next thing's the veterans banners. If your loved one is interested in this program, please call City Hall and speak with Brian Stevens, Extension 5. It's $150 for a 4-year period. At the end of that 4-year period, you get your banners back. And you know, Chris, when we're gonna have, when the shut-off date on that?
I don't, but we normally come up with Memorial Day.
Memorial Day and take them down Veterans Day, so I just figured you'd have to have a date in order to order them this year. He has in the past. It's Memorial Day, you probably have to have them done by April 15th or something, probably.
I think last year we did it. About the first week of April, is that
Yeah.
correct?
So if anybody knows anybody who wants a banner, try to get them in here and try to get them, they gotta have an EDT, they gotta have a picture. There's a lot of stuff that they gotta get with Hootie. And that leads me, I mean, that's all I got, that leads me to something else. We've got 4 people buried over in the Veteran Cemetery, and I think, we would have more if we could get this out with the press more. You can, if you, right now, if you've been in the Army or Navy or any of them and you, wanna be buried over there, you can come now and bring all your paperwork and get everything done, and then when something happens to you, your family don't have to worry about nothing. We got it, we take it to the funeral home, and they take you and bury you, so I think it's a great,
Is it free or do they have to pay for them?
well, I think the plot is free.
Okay.
Now, whatever the,
I mean, I know they pay to bury them and all that,
Yeah, the
but, I mean,
funeral.
we provide the.
yeah, we provide the
The
plot,
plot.
the gravestone, and it's something that's gonna be here, and some of y'all was a part of this on there. It's something that's gonna be here the rest of our days. And, you know, when we're dead and gone, it's a legacy we've left.
Is it the gravestones like they've got at Mill Springs and
Just
places?
exactly like it. So it might save people's family from having to drive all the way to Somerset or drive all the way to Lexington, but I think it's very important. And I think that if people know that, you know, they could come and get it done and get it over with, there'd probably be more, because when you get a veterans banner, when you get to veterans, you get your banner, you've got everything you need, so. But Hootie just texted, said May 1st is the deadline. They gotta be in by May 1st, so anybody knows anybody that wants any of the banners, deadline will be May 1st, so, I just think that's very important for our veterans, and it's something that really looks good, and it's always gonna be took care of, always, so. That's all I got. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion by Cody, need a second?
I'll second.
Second by Lance, all in favor?
Aye.
Lance, is that you?
Yeah.
Let's go see if